Hey y'all, it's your GM, Olivia Wake here, and I was just letting you know that this week we're going to be doing something a little different than the campaign. We're still editing the regular episodes, and it is taking a lot more time than we expected. So in the meantime, I thought that I would release a 3-parter kind of short little episodes called the Derry Diaries. This is going to be just a little insider look at the life and mind of our dear sweet Derry Fairy before he came to Cozy Crypt. So sit back, pour yourself a cup of nice sweet tea, and enjoy the Derry Diaries. The Derry Diaries, Episode 2, Unseen.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Derry, this is just rapport building. We're not even doing the hard work yet.
Rapport building is hard.
Young man, if you do not come down from that armoire right now, I will get this house to shake you off.
What? This... Ugh. You know, it's not fair that you're in cahoots with the literal building.
Perks of the position, dear. Now, come, sit. I understand that speaking about these things can be difficult, but it is necessary for your overall well-being.
As if talking will fix anything. It hasn't before. Only this has. Shing!
Ah, yes, the infamous butter knife. Well, perhaps we can pause on the grapefruit story then. And you can tell me about this instead. When did you get such a terrifying weapon?
Yeah, who knows? It's all a little wonky when you... Well, I did wander for a long time after that first day.
And how long is a long time to a being like you?
I don't know. Years? Decades? I saw snow melt and return, saw trees fall, and saplings grow tall in their place. I watched towns turn from nothing to booming, watched roads cut through the mountains like scars.
And all that time, you were alone.
I tried to be. I mean, look at me. Alfred's mind gave me a digitless bunny body the size of an infant. And after what happened with dear old Dad, well... everything seems so dangerous. Yet, turns out, imagination doesn't much like being ignored. For a while, I tried to make it just me, traveling from forest to forest, up and down the white mountains, avoiding people, animals, anything I thought might touch me. Instead, I spent time learning from the plants and trees. It's how I learned to use my ears like I do. I mean, if vines didn't need hands to climb, then neither did I. I'd hop from tree to tree and pretend the forest was watching, pretend the mountains were impressed, pretend someone saw that I hadn't vanished when Alfred's care did, that I still existed. But pretending only lasts so long. I'm not sure when it stopped being enough. Eventually, I was starving. Not for food or water. I'm a creature of imagination. I don't need that simple kind of sustenance. But attention, that I craved like nothing else. It's funny, you know. A human made me curious, but also hurt me. I shouldn't have wanted to be around them. I should have been okay with my exile, but I was just so
lonely.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Like what?
Like it's sad.
Derry, it is sad. So, what did you do then?
I tried people again. Not up close. I'm not stupid. I kept mostly in controlled spaces, between the forest and the coast. Sometimes I'd stand on the edge of trails. Other times I'd creep up and look in people's windows. It wasn't weird. It was just I was waiting to make eye contact. But every time I thought people saw me, Instead, their gaze slid right off me, like I was part of the scenery. Eventually, I started thinking it was on purpose, like they were ignoring me. And I don't know, it made me so mad. They couldn't ignore me, they made me. So I was going to make someone see me.
Oh, Derry.
First big place I saw after that, I went to it. I think it was called, Portland?
Portland, Maine?
I don't know. Geography isn't my strong suit, you know that. But it was a port town. There were ships and lighthouses and lots of lobster. It was a vibe.
And the people?
What's to say? It wasn't any different. I'd hop right out in front of them, throw myself out in alley and freeze, but there'd be nothing. I'd shout, still nothing. They didn't even look up. And this one time, random guy on your phone, he just walked right through me, like I was air.
Oh.
And I started thinking, maybe Alfred, maybe he had been special, or maybe only the one who imagined me could see me. But if that was the case, then all I was worth was... Anyways, so I started testing it.
Testing?
Little things. Knocking stuff over, tugging shoelaces, stealing one out of every pair of socks.
Oh, you became a menace.
Yeah, but a scientific menace.
Of course.
And I determined from it that, at a certain point, humans just don't imagine much. They stop being curious about the world and instead just notice when it becomes dangerous.
Hence the knife.
Yeah, now you get it. Nothing gets attention like a breeze wielding a butter knife.
Oh, that sentence is concerning.
Yeah, it worked though.
Did it?
Well, kind of. They saw it. Hell, I even got the rumor started that the alley I lived in was haunted. But, in truth, they only ever noticed the knife. Not me. No one saw me. Until, well, all the chaos I was creating drew someone like me.
Another cryptid.
Yeah, this tiny bird squirrel thing. Kind of looked like a beat-up feather duster.
Oh, have I met them?
I don't know. He's pretty hard to catch. Called himself the Snipe.
The snipe. As in the snipe hunt. I thought that was a practical joke.
Prank's been played so many times, somebody ended up believing it. And you know what? I'm glad for it. Because meeting Snipe was the first time someone other than Alfred had looked me in the eyes. The moment he saw me, he said, "You wanna be seen, kid?" And I was so flabbergasted. I looked directly into that weird beaked face of his and threatened to cut him.
Naturally.
But, Snipe, he'd been around longer. Had seen much scarier things than me in the dark. Even ran with a few of them. He knew what it was like to be small and half real. To be born with a purpose that could never be fulfilled. But he'd stopped being angry long before my time. God, I respected that old grifter. Instead, he put his obscurity to good use. Finding other lost or stuck cryptids and giving them a space to feel seen. Even if just for a night. It's where things started for me, in a way. Where I began as the cool cat I am today.
And you are incredibly cool.
You bet your ass I am. Yeah, back in those days, there were a few of us, all working under Snipe. I was a consigliere of sorts, advising in this underground hustle he ran, where cryptids would gather to converse, sell things, and occasionally offer these, let's call them dream experiences.
Oh, well, that sounds illegal.
It wasn't like substances or anything. Snipe just had this ability. He was a prank by nature, So illusions were his bread and butter. And I was his ideas man. The two of us together, We could play some wild games. But what we really sold were these dreams, a way for our kind to experience their making fulfilled. In a few hours, we could have a lake monster who felt like a terror again, a ghost who could haunt a house that was no longer there, or some forgotten critter from a campfire story who could hear its name whispered on the wind. And for a long time, that was the life. We boozed and stole, just me and my kind, serving up acknowledgement. Hell, in our own way, we grew rich, dealing in each other's temporary stories. Decades passed. The millennium came and went. And if anyone tried to disrupt our little piece of paradise, well, I had my blade. But then,
It wasn't enough, was it?
would it be for anyone? Every night, when the illusions wore off, we were still the same half-forgotten creatures, made from beliefs and tales that humans no longer told. Every year, they cared less about the mysteries of the world, cared less about community and environment and all the little magics that led to our making. And we're beings of story, Granny. Not every cryptkin may want to be seen like I do, but we all want to be known, to be believed in, at least. Otherwise, the story ends.
And is that why you came to Cozy Crypt? I remember you mentioning before, Snipe led you here, correct?
And led is a strong word. There was this one night. He came looking all giddy. Said some specter moose had heard a rumor. Some place down south, a town where the people believed in the weird and wonderful, and something called the Green would keep us safe.
Like a sanctuary. And you believed him? The Snipe?
Granny, when you're invisible long enough, you start believing in anything that might change that. So, we packed up the whole operation.
All of you?
Every last weirdo. Ghost Moose, Cassie, Agro Pelter, like 7 knockoff versions of Bigfoot, maybe a raccoon or 2.
Huh. And Snipe led the way.
Oh yeah, real confident too, which turns out, taking directions from a literal walking prank, not very reliable.
So you didn't go south?
Nope.
And which direction did you end up going?
A circle. A very confident circle. We just kept moving, fueled by hope and spite and a lot of trust in a directionally challenged bird. Until we found this logging town. One of those places where the forest just stops, like someone took a giant bite out of it.
Oh, clear cutting.
I guess that's what it's called. Trees stacked in piles like bones, mud everywhere, machines screaming day and night. The wild world falling to ruin.
That must have been unpleasant for creatures like you.
Oh, it wasn't just unpleasant, it felt wrong, heavy, like the land was being drained.
And you could feel that?
Oh yeah, but things like us always feel it when humans chew up the world. It hurts themselves, so it hurts us. But these people, when we saw them, they were different.
Different how?
Normally, when humans hurt the world or each other, there's hesitation. Even if they won't say it out loud, some part of them knows they're doing something wrong. You can see it in the way they pause before cutting down an old tree, or the way they won't quite look an animal in the eye that they're about to kill.
You speak of the conscience.
Yeah, the what if. A little bit of imagination left, wondering if maybe there's a better way. But these people, there was no hesitation. None. And it didn't make any sense. They didn't look angry, didn't look happy, they were just empty. They cut, hauled, stacked, and did it all again, day and night.
Like machines.
Exactly. Like something had come and scooped out the part of them that dreamed.
That must have been terrifying for you.
It was worse than that. It felt like standing in a place where stories died. And for creatures like us, well, it's dangerous. So, naturally we went to leave, to get away from there, but someone stepped on a branch, and to our surprise, they noticed. That's when, for the second time in my life, a human saw me. But not with curiosity, not with wonder, not even fear. There was only hunger. The same want I'd seen in Alfred before he lunged, only stronger. It bled out of them, from their eyes, bright and blinding and gold.
Oh my.
Granny? Granny, are you okay?
Oh, Derry. Something is very wrong.
Thank you for listening to the Derry Diaries, Episode
2. Unseen.
This will be a 3-part series, which is written, directed, produced, and performed by me, Olivia Wake. If you'd like to hear more like this, leave us a message, leave us a comment, let us know that this is something that you're interested in. And as always, if you want to hear more of this or more of Cozy Crypt, please like, subscribe, follow, whatever the buttons tell you to do. And remember to share this podcast, as every little bit of interaction is always keeping the green growing. Until next time, stay creepy, y'all.